Grab me some glasses.
Yeah. So there's some popping in the engine. And it's been popping for a while. We're thinking, I don't know, it might be the head. We're not really sure. We gotta check a few things. It also wasn't charging. The alternator wasn't charging. So tighten the belt. And one final thing is there is a stud missing out of one of the engine mounts. So we've got 3 mounts holding the engine on right now instead of 4. So hopefully when we pass by the Beetle shop in Searsport, we'll stop and see if he's got a stud laying around. Our final things to do before we head out. I don't think I took a video of the new doors that Pete made. Should film the other side too. We got our package up there for all the tools that we bring when we go back and forth. Show you the other barn doors. Here's the inside. And Pete did use the old hinge things. Yeah. We drove the bus to the boatyard to do some laundry and stuff. We got a few things to do before we go. And the popping. It wasn't popping anymore. So we're thinking that the alternator wasn't getting enough charge, which then it wasn't getting enough electrical to the spark plugs. And we've had this popping for like, I don't know, maybe a year?
No, just on the trip up here.
Okay, trip up here.
Right here in a little bush.
Nice.
And up here and shoot. Right well, with camp. The boys camp. And they have all kinds of activities. If you go over this ledge and down the other side, you come down to a beautiful lake. So we have these water activities out there.
Awesome. It's bound to happen eventually.
We are broke down. We are so broke down. The bus just stopped. Just didn't want to drive anymore. We've been driving for 6 hours. We had 1 more hour left to go before our destination. And the bus broke down. What a nightmare. Luckily, the tow truck driver is actually going to let us ride with him. So that's good. We're an hour away from Karen and Allen's, and it's getting dark. We're hungry.
We got some chili while you eat it.
Yeah.
That's why I eat it while we're waiting for the tow truck.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily we have dinner. We made a big pot of chili at Steve and Alex's actually. Thanks to my dad, I got AAA. Last night the tow truck dropped us off right here. I'm holding the phone flat, so we were definitely on a hill where we got dropped, so last night was very uncomfortable. We pretty much had to prop each other prop into each other like we were sailing on Norna. It's like we're out to sea for a night. A very calm sea. But anyways, so Alan's got his truck battery for us. The battery's fine. The truck battery, he's got his truck for us. The battery in the bus is fine, but we kind of ran it down trying to get it started yesterday, so we're kind of using his truck as a jump for a little while, keep the battery charged up. Pete is out of auto parts this morning. It's been a good 4 or 5 days on the road now, so we're pretty beat too. It's been fun. It's been great, except for the bus breaking down. Oh, luckily where we broke down, probably about 2 miles before that, we were on this very long stretch of road that was nothing but a wall. There was no way to pull over if you broke down. They were doing construction. So there were pullovers, but they were, 1,000 feet away or whatever, on a very, very busy turnpike. And if the bus would have just shut off like it did in the middle of the turnpike, we would have had nowhere to pull over and would have been sitting there waiting for a tow truck or pushing the bus to a place 1,000 feet away or 2 miles away or whatever, and probably getting a ticket because of blocking up traffic, because that's what they'll do, is ticket you if you're broke down on the road and you can't get off. And then also have the tow truck. Fun! Nightmare! Anyways, so luckily the bus broke down where it did. It was right before we got off of the turnpike. We were just kind of sitting there waiting for a tow truck as traffic just whizzed by, because they're getting onto the on-ramp of the next interstate or whatever. So it was just like a very busy place to break down to. So we're beat. We had pretty much a 10-hour day. We had planned on a 7-hour day. Alright, the bus had a complete tune-up. New coil, new spark plug wires. We did the spark plugs in June. It's October, so the spark plugs should be fine. New distributor cap, new condenser, new points, new rotor, new rotor cap or distributor cap, whatever those are called. That doodad right there. Yeah, pretty much everything electrical redone. Checked the points. Hopefully she starts now. Good girl, you're such a good doggy. Yes, you are.
Show the gauge. I'll hold the gauge up.
Okay.
So on the wire, it's doing fine.
When he touches the end of the wire, look at all the resistance he's getting.
Right? And you get down here on the spade.
Where it's actually hooked up.
Nothing.
And that's why we weren't getting any juice to the spark plugs.
Nada.
And that's where the juice came from, to these points, which everything is relied on those touching, and that's the last connection from the coil to the spark plugs. We went through everything, and that was all it was, apparently. I mean, that's the first scientific evidence of something wrong.
There you go. So this
Gee
is like a
whiz.
non-connection right here. I can't.